All right, Monday's hot topic. We are on Christmas Eve, so a themed hot topic of the day. Which teams gave their fans presents and which teams gave them coal here in 2024?
Yeah, this has been an interesting calendar year. I mean, we come off recently the MLS Cup title for the Galaxy, who turned it around after not being a major contender for trophies the last couple of seasons. That's been an incredible story, big present under the tree for Galaxy fans going into 2025. I mean, recency bias is a thing here, but you talk about Manchester City and the way things have gone for them. If we're just talking about MLS, though, if you want to keep it local and domestic for a moment, Rob, yeah,
Yeah, of
the
course.
Red Bull run, that's a good one, right? Yeah, they came up short in the final. Disappointment there. Still haven't won an MLS Cup trophy as an organization. We're going to see what this offseason, this winter brings. They have signed Eric Choupo-Moting, which is an interesting one. Is he worth the money that they're spending on him? My gut says no.
He's an unlikely hero.
He's an unlikely big spend for them, right?
Yeah, of all the players to spend big on, it's interesting that he's the one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. I do think a lot of people are scratching their heads over that move, but maybe it comes good. There is the looming possibility that John Tolkien takes his talents to Europe. I think there is some chatter around that, so they would have to go and find a left back to replace him. And he not only is a good left back and obviously worthy of a European move, young talent, but also their set piece guy. We saw that play a big role in their MLS Cup playoff run. So yeah, but still a wonderful present for Red Bull fans to have had this kind of season. I will say that, let me throw this in there as well, since we're talking about MLS teams. I will call him a friend of the show. Hasn't been on the show yet, but Matt Doyle, MLSsoccer.com armchair analyst, a
Heard
guy
him.
that most people know of. He was on Blue Sky, and he's got a new Substack where he's just dropping some thoughts, national team things, talking about various things that matter to him that he's not publishing on MLSsoccer.com. And he was hyping up local coverage of MLS teams. I think it's soccer coverage, period. But of course, his main area is MLS, and there are lots of very good local outlets covering these MLS teams, filling a vacuum that exists because the legacy media, the newspapers in the area, the news channels, they're not doing that work. The radio stations, they're just not doing that work. Soccer still lags behind. I mean, all the resources go to the NFL team, the NBA team, not to the MLS team. So I would encourage people, just to piggyback on what Matt Doyle was doing, I would encourage people to support their local coverage of MLS. And there's a lot of very good, I don't want to start naming them because I'll forget somebody, but I think there are some lists out there on Blue Sky. If you're on Blue Sky, Ben Wright, who covers Nashville SC, has a list that you can follow everybody on it. I'm on that list, even though not local coverage. I'm on that list, so you can follow me there too. But I think the Red Bulls are a team that they have a vacuum. They're a black hole a little bit in terms of coverage and interest. And what I'm hoping is that this run brings some more focus to the Red Bulls. I mean, they've always been a tweener organization, Rob. Right? They're in New York, but they play in Jersey. They're owned by this big conglomerate international outfit that doesn't always seem that interested in helping them succeed. They are now overshadowed in the market by NYCFC. And once NYCFC gets that stadium open in Queens, it's going to be even tougher, I think, for the Red Bulls to get much attention in the market. They do not have a ton of good local coverage. We have Seeing Red, the podcast that Mark Fishkin does. He's not doing daily coverage, right? That's just a really hard lift for a lot of these teams. So if you are a soccer fan in America and you want to see things grow and support coverage like that, I would encourage you find Ben Wright's list. Go read Matt Doyle's piece on his Substack. Do what those people are trying to do and support local coverage, because we are in a place where if we don't give a little bit to them, it won't exist for much longer.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So local coverage, definitely a present under the tree of American soccer fans. Uh, Going to my list as far as fan bases for teams, I know I set the parameters or presents or coal, but I'm gonna give a good pair of socks under the tree for Atlanta United fans. You know,
Okay.
you didn't expect much almost the whole year, and then
Right.
things got like really hopeful and exciting at the end. So it's not Cole, but you didn't get an Xbox, but you got a good solid pair of socks that didn't have any holes or anything in it.
Okay. All right. But are these like fun socks, or are they just boring, like gold toe kind of standard socks? I mean, what are they warm? I mean, Atlanta, they don't really need You probably have some incredibly warm socks in your rotation, Rob. I think down in
Oh
Atlanta, they don't
yeah,
really
yeah,
need those.
yeah, yeah. I got some good ones, and then sometimes you just have to double up. You just
You
got
have
to
to
wear the
double up.
second pair.
Wow.
You put
That's
the ankle
crazy.
socks over the top of the thick
I
ones.
see.
That's how
I
you leave
see.
the house. I mean, we were in a deep freeze. It was like 9 degrees yesterday. So
Yeah,
yeah, you definitely need the
it's
double socks.
it's cold where I am. It's not quite that cold, but yeah, that's definitely okay. So socks for Atlanta United, a good pair. Garth Lagerwey, Chris Henderson went out and got some really nice socks for you for Christmas.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I think they're probably Atlanta United themed socks because that makes it more interesting to me.
I would say LA Galaxy fans definitely got the Xbox.
Okay, that's the Xbox.
Yeah.
That's the Xbox. Okay, that yeah, or the PS5 or whatever the hot. I don't even know. Like
What is like the
I don't
tippity
know.
top
What's
present in
the
2024?
present of 2020? Is it like a motorized scooter? Is that like every kid getting a motorized scooter now?
Tickle
No?
Me Tesla.
That's I don't know what that would be, but it's disturbing that you created that
modern.
in your brain right now. All right, so what else? What else? I mean, we're still waiting. Here's the thing: we are 2 days from Christmas. Is Philly, Toronto, Vancouver? I know we covered this already, but are they gonna get something? Are they gonna go out and finish the last minute shopping and have a head coach under the tree for those teams, for those fans, or are they gonna come out of Christmas wondering why there was no gift for them from their clubs?
I think it would be pretty odd, and that would be pretty disappointing. Have you ever, you know, come down the stairs to no presents under a tree? I mean, that would be pretty bleak, to be honest. I mean, to be going into, you know, what should be the, you know, setting the foundations for your year. You know, MLS seasons are long. I mean, what they're doing now in the next couple of weeks behind the scenes for your favorite MLS franchise are setting the scene for what you are going to have to either endure or enjoy next year. So I would be pretty concerned if I was a follower of those teams without a coach and have nothing under the
Well, if you look,
tree.
if you look at this, okay, so obviously the MLS playoff season is long, and so we were very focused on the teams that were participating in the playoff run, and the Red Bulls had the Cinderella story, right? So that's a very good gift. I don't know what that gift was under the tree. They delivered it already. It was early. It was an early gift for the Red Bull fans from their club that they made that run to the MLS Cup final. You figure like, okay, Inter Miami, is there a big present coming from Inter Miami to their fans, because we see them gobbling up GAM. They sold Leo Campana to the Revolution. What does that mean? I mean, I think if you're a Crew fan, you're hoping that Wilfred Nancy comes down the chimney on Christmas and gives you a gift and isn't off in France being Père Noël or whatever like that.
Yeah, who would be
That's
most
their
scared to like see that like tweet like congratulations and wish you well on your next adventure? You know, who would that be? Columbus is like, would
Yeah.
that be the most devastated
Yeah.
team if they
I
had a
think
message
so.
like that?
I think so. I mean, again, we talked about John Tolkien leaving the Red Bulls potentially in a sale. I think there are a couple other players that could make moves, and you'd be crushed if you were a fan that you saw them. I mean, look, I think there are a lot of Philadelphia Union fans who are still smarting over the Jim Curtin thing and his departure. And again, the Union haven't delivered yet. There's no present there. It's where the clock is ticking, and they don't have a guy to lead their team. I mean, you look at the rest of this season. Definitely, Chicago Fire fans got another lump of coal. It just fits the theme. Like,
They
it
might be
just fits the
pre-ordering 2025's lump of coal too.
Oh, that's not. Well, I don't know. I think Greg Berhalter will have them competitive. I mean, you could say that the season was a lump of coal, but Berhalter is at least a reason for hope in the
One
season.
polished piece in there.
One polished piece of coal. That's what Greg Berhalter is. Wow.
Maybe it's a
okay.
little harsh, but
Okay. All
you
right.
know.
Let's say RSL. I think that was a pretty nice gift. I don't know what the equivalent is. Maybe a very nice bathrobe or something from RSL for their fans. Because that's a club that continues to surprise everybody by being in it. They haven't crested the hill, but I think you got to give Pablo Mastroeni and that team a lot of credit for the way that they're run and the success that they've had. I think if we're talking about a season of hope, you're hopeful if you're a a Rapids fan. You're hopeful if you're a Minnesota United fan. You're hopeful if you're an Austin fan. I mean, they missed the playoffs, but they signed a new coach, cleared out some dead weight. I don't know how hopeful. Are the Revs hopeful? Caleb Porter looks like he's coming back after finishing 14th. Again, they went out and got Leo Campana. Is there a reason for hope up in New England? Is a good question. Did they gift their fans something that actually feels like a gift? Or are you still like, nah, I don't know. Like you went out and bought the Chinese version, the cheap version of that really nice toy I wanted instead of the good quality version. This is going to break after 3 months, and we're going to have to do this again.
If I was a Revs fan, I wouldn't be lunging for the "I'm satisfied with that" button if there was an option. Into the comments to answer your question, we got a national team footballer in the comments who is looking to hire a new coach. We still got Toronto, Philadelphia, NYCFC, and Vancouver. Kind of overseas, naughty or nice list, Cole or a present. I don't want to jinx it, but Liverpool, they've been, they've given presents. I mean, we didn't know what to expect with the change in leadership at Liverpool, and it's, come up roses. So at Christmas, it's a present. So hopefully that doesn't turn sour in the spring of 2025.
Yeah, there's no way.
And Everton got a present last night too
because of the schedule. Like the presents that fans are getting from their Premier League clubs are more like, they're nice, but they can't be the huge present that you really want, right? That Christmas is in May when you're a Premier League fan.
So we got a sapling. You
got something that maybe will grow into an incredible present, I guess. I don't know. It's a chia pet.
You just took it right out of my mouth. The chia pet, and then you could get Arnie's. Will his hair grow by the spring?
Oh man, we need an Arnie Slot chia pet. We probably need you get Mo Salah. You could get the Premier League trophy and just maybe it grows and looks very nice. The Liverpool the front end of the season has been incredible. That's a really nice gift. I would certainly say Bournemouth has given. We just talked about the win over United. Bournemouth has given a very nice present to their fans as they sit fifth in the table. Obviously, Nottingham Forest. I mean, that is something that Nottingham Forest fan could have ever dreamt of. And who knows how long it lasts for both those teams, Forest and Bournemouth. Although I think Bournemouth has the better squad, and Bournemouth has a better chance of hanging around in a European spot. It's a lump of coal for City fans, and they haven't had one of those in a long time. They haven't had this. It's been
It
really
started
rough.
well. What's a present that like on the first day it's great, but really falls apart there afterwards?
That's a good question. I don't know. We'd have to look into to think about. Yeah, it's like we got you a new car, and then the transmission goes out
After 2 months.
After a couple months. Yeah, that seems to be the case. I would certainly say. I mean, I'm reasonably okay with the 17 games that Fulham has put in. 9th place. Okay,
Top half.
Like to aim a little bit higher, but top half is not the end of the world. I think. Brighton fans had to be a little disappointed with their Christmas.
Yeah.
They had some higher hopes. Obviously, another new manager for them. Spurs. Wow. Where do we begin? What can we say about Tottenham Hotspur?
There was something on the commentary. I think. I wish I could get this right, but it was their worst start in over 15 to 20 years.
It's probably. And here's the thing: it's a terrible start for Spurs, and everybody's talking about obviously shipping what that is. 9 goals in their last 2 matches between the League Cup against United and this one against Liverpool. Just absolute bonkers football that Ange Postecoglou plays. I mean, look, and obviously, injuries are part of it. Right? It was
their injury list is huge.
It's a long injury list, and when you don't have your top 2 center backs, that is just a disaster waiting to happen. That is
or
a fair
goalie.
thing. Yeah, right. Well, and Forster, yeah, that is absolutely true. But it is Manchester United. Right. Let's be clear. It's not a lump of coal. It's a lump of something else. It's a lump of something else that your dog maybe delivered to your front lawn. That's what Manchester United. And
it's steaming season.
I'm just like I'm a kind of person like, okay, you got to give a coach time. Like you have to be patient when a new manager steps in. Those are not Ruben Amorim's players. This is not. He did not get a chance to work with them going into the season. He's installing a new system with 3 backs in the middle of this thing and trying to make it work. And clearly he's been given a mandate on some level from the ownership, from Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos to fix it, and it's okay if it's not great right away. Right? Like if you're Ruben Amorim, you don't take that job unless you have some guarantees that you can work through some bad stuff before you get to the good stuff. But the problem is, as they sink further and further and further, and as they sit in 13th position, as we get ready to hit Boxing Day in the turn of the calendar, the fans are not going to be like, "Yep, I'm totally on board with this slow process of working out the kinks and getting us to a place where we can play good football again." If this team is in mid-table or worse when we get to March, what's going to happen? Like how is that tenable for Ineos and Jim Ratcliffe and Ruben Amorim, who I think walked into a bear's den and is dealing now with the problems that United has?
Yeah, too many problems. I think he volunteered to a gold-plated room of coal did Amorim walk into.
Okay, sure.
But that should do it for that topic. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button. Follow along at MKickaround on social media. Write us a note. Who do you think is getting a present or some coal? Write us a note. morningkickaround@gmail.com.